What's cracking, guys? This is Ravisher, and I have not made a Halo 4 video in a little bit. And Far Cry 3 and the new Battlefield 3 map pack are coming out tomorrow, so I wanted to make a Halo 4 video that I've had on my mind for a few weeks before other things get in the way. And we can't forget about final exams for those of us in school, including myself. But let's get right down to the important business. I want to make a video that's kind of a follow-up to my competitive skill rank video that I made about Halo 4. If you haven't checked that out already, you definitely should, because it goes into detail about what we should expect early next year when 343 is going to release the competitive skill playlist. And in this video, I was actually inspired by a post on the Halo Waypoint forums. I'll leave a link to it in the description because it's truly a brilliant post. I mean, I read online forums a lot, and usually they're just a cesspool of just non-constructive criticism and hate and flaming. But this post, it's just a great post all around. So I really suggest anybody watching this video go check this post out. So I just want to highlight some of the main points that this guy made, but also these have all been things that I've talked about with my friends and I've thought about while playing the game. So it's not like I'm just stealing these guys' ideas. It's just that he did a really good job putting it into words, and I want to kind of translate a few of those ideas and also a few of mine in this video. So getting right into it, obviously we need a Halo 2 style competitive ranking system. I think Halo 3's was a little bit easy to get to 50. I liked Halo 2's better, where it was nearly impossible to get into the high rank. So there was always something to strive for. Because in Halo 3, once you got to that 50, there was kind of not that much to do other than try to get the same 50 in other playlists. So definitely see it as it harder to get into other harder to get to other high ranks like Halo 2's would be optimal in my opinion. But more importantly is a lot of gameplay stuff, and I think Halo 4 definitely needs a title update. And if you guys don't know what a title update is, it refers to like a big update that includes a lot of stuff for a game. Battlefield 3 had one that really revamped a lot of the core gameplay mechanics, and I think Halo 4 needs one to introduce competitiveness back into the game and also a competitive side. So we need a separation of social and ranked, which is quite obvious. And I think social just should stay the same way Halo 4 is right now, which doesn't really have that many problems to begin with, like the inclusion of guests and all the social features like instant respawn and stuff like that, as well as no ranking system. Join in progress. I don't know. I think Halo 4 as a social game right now is quite solid. So I really don't think that many changes need to be made other than obviously glitch fixes and weapon rebalancing. But in terms of competitive play, we need the removal of instant respawning. It'll slow down the frantic nature of gameplay. And again, instant respawning can stay in social playlists, but it definitely needs to be removed from the ranked side. Join in progress also needs to be removed. This is especially important in the competitive sense that if you're winning and you make the other team quit, usually, just like in Halo 2 and Halo 3, you should be rewarded with the win. It's also very frustrating if you're playing in a very competitive setting and you want to win your games and you're joining games that are already in progress and your team's losing. So this just has no place in a competitive playlist. But again, I think it works well in the social playlist, and I think it should stay in the social playlist. Kill cams or sit rec should also be removed with the return of the classic death cam. Just again, from a competitive standpoint, any competitive game you look at does not have kill cams in it, just because it basically, I don't want to say it rewards you for dying, but when you die, it reveals the position or how your enemy killed you. It's not really as relevant to Halo as it is to a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, but again, it's just an added feature that really doesn't need to be in competitive playlists. In my opinion, this really is an important one. I mean, if this was to remain in, I really wouldn't care. But again, I just think it'd be a little bit better off if it wasn't in. An important one is the removal of flinch and the reintroduction of zoom out. So if you don't know what this is, in Halo 3 and Halo Reach, when you were getting shot, you'd be zoomed out of scope, and you'd have to land a no scope with your battle rifle or your DMR to unscope your opponent, and then you could scope in. So it was kind of like a battle, and it just took quite a bit of skill, because getting a shot when they were a long ways away and you were unscoped and they were scoped was quite a challenge, and it definitely added a large skill gap to gun battles. And when they've taken this out, it's made it so easy to snipe when you're getting shot, and also just really easy to win your DMR battles when you get first shot. So even if you get first shot, even if you're like a weaker player and you get first shot, you're more likely to win than if there's scope out in. So I think this definitely needs to be brought back, and I think it's really important to increase the skill gap when it comes to gameplay. Basic weapon balancing, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but stuff like the balancing of the BR and the DMR, I've talked about this in another video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. The return of the X on teammates' dead bodies, this is really important. I can't tell you how many times I've called out, oh, on my X, just to realize that for some reason 343 took it out of the game. I have no idea why. It was a really stupid decision and needs to be brought back in. No guests should be in the competitive playlist for obvious reasons. It's a competitive playlist. Guests should be playing it social. No party chat. This is debatable. In Halo 4 and Halo Reach, people just really didn't communicate. In Halo 3, especially when you were in the higher levels, you joined games where everybody was communicating in team chat, and it was really fun. So I think this is probably a good feature. Counter-Strike and Call of Duty did it. I think Call of Duty did it for Search and Destroy, and it usually works well because it encourages people to communicate, and it just adds to the competitive sense. But again, I'd be on the offense about this because sometimes you just don't want to have to deal with muting people that are annoying, and you just want to play with your buddies in party chat. So if you're going in as a party of 4, obviously it doesn't really matter if you're in party chat or not. So it could discourage some people from entering in it. Again, I'm on the fence about this. It's really not that important, but it could be an interesting feature. Friendly fire needs to be on. This is obvious. Not going to go into any detail. Quitting needs to be punished severely, just like in Halo 3. Severely punished for quitting. Your rank should be very negatively impacted, and there should be a little bit of grace maybe for people who disconnect here and then. But if you're somebody who quits some of your, like, majority of your games or quits frequently, you should be absolutely destroyed when it comes to your rank. So quitting is very, very discouraged. And betrayals should be also very punished severely, just to reduce deranking. We need classic weapon spawns back, so no ordnance and no random weapon spawns. Spawns should be on a timer in the same place on the map. When it comes to maps, we need an injection of community-made maps, smaller maps, because Halo 4 really doesn't have enough well-made small maps. No matter what 343 tells us, Complex is not a medium small map. I mean, the size of the maps are a joke. I've watched the video for the upcoming map pack and they all look big. Even the ones that they classify as a medium to small map looks like it could play for big team battles. So we definitely need the community to put in some more competitive maps for 4v4s. We also need the return of classic objective game types and a droppable flag with no flagnum. Basically just more classic Halo style objectives. We need no custom loadouts, removal of armor abilities and support upgrades, kind of like Slayer Pro. I think Slayer Pro has it done really well, but there should just be a single default loadout, or maybe 2 to pick between the DMR and the BR, and possibly a third one, depending on the map, like a light rifle or the carbine. But there should not be custom loadouts, and there shouldn't be customizable, like, you shouldn't be able to pick between your secondary. Everybody should spawn with magnums and frag grenades, and there should be plasmas and plasma pistols pick up on the map. Again, no personal ordnance, very obvious. There's no way this should be in a competitive setting. No waypoints on any of the in-map weapons. This is pretty important. First of all, it's annoying to look at. I find it annoying, and it just removes knowing weapon spawns and weapon locations. It's part of getting good at Halo is knowing the maps well, so there shouldn't be waypoints above weapons. Sprint is disabled. Now this is an interesting one. Honestly, I have no problem with sprint. I think we need to accept the fact that Halo has changed since Halo 3, and the maps need to be designed to incorporate sprint. But it would be interesting if they added the option to disable sprint in custom game options. I can make an entire video talking about sprint, so I'm just going to kind of ignore this point for the time being, because it's quite a controversial one. Motion tracker. In MLG, 4v4 is disabled, but I think in doubles and free-for-all it should be enabled, and possibly enabled in 4v4, especially since people communicate less and are in party chat more, so it gives more need for a motion tracker. Grenade indicators and hitmarkers should be removed. Classic power-up should be back on the map, like Overshield and active Camo. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can think about. I know it sounds like we're just going back to Halo 3, but I think we should truly embrace some of Halo 4's things that they brought into the franchise, like great gameplay, great movements, sprint, a lot of cool weapons, really good engine, a good forge. And I think we just need to build on that and keep Halo 4 as it is right now for the social side, because I think it plays well when it comes to a social game, but we really need a competitive title update to make it fun for the competitive community and the people who want to play a little bit more serious when it comes to 4v4s and other objective game types. So I don't think there's an argument against this, just because there will still be all the regular Halo 4 stuff for people to play, but at the same time, the people who want it in the competitive community will get it. I mean, I know a lot of people have been calling for this, and this gets a lot of support. And I think this needs more support because 343 really needs to see that people are in need of this and really want this in the game. So I hope this goes through. And if you like the video or you agree with it, please share this so we can get this out to as many people as possible. And go show some support on the Halo Waypoint forums. And I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. There's going to be more Halo 4 stuff coming your way this month. There's a new map pack coming out, and hopefully we will see a update late this year, early next year, and I will make sure to keep you guys up to date. So thanks, and don't forget to subscribe and check out my other Halo 4 videos.